We have been tracking these storms throughout the night. Now, the first cell, the tornado warning, has been issued for that, moving here into the mid-state. And this tornado warning is going to be in effect until 11.
And look at this rotation on the north side of Kingston Springs. Is this Highway 70? Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to come right down Highway 70. And you know Highway 70 now, Highway 70 trails almost due east.
There are some concerning things that have been happening in Kentucky these last several hours. Governor Andy Beshear addressed those concerns and the loss of life within the last couple of hours. Listen to this.
Good morning. We are nearing the end of the most severe tornado event in Kentucky's history.
Let's go out right now to Ryan Breslin. He is in Kingston Springs, joining our Thomas Davis, who's been doing a lot of coverage for us these last few hours. Ryan, I know you've not been on the ground too long, but in the minutes that you've been there, tell us what you've noticed and what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, good morning to you, Lauren. What we're seeing right now is we are seeing the fire department still working right now. They are on the radio with other fire rescuers and operators trying to figure out what areas they need to go to next. I want to walk all the way down. We are in Kingston Springs, and I want to just show you some of the area of the damage that we have seen this morning. I know that Thomas Davis, our photographer, has been out here all morning, and he was capturing what was a trailer rescue. So I'm bringing you over to that trailer right now. As we get closer to the trailer, you can see all of the trees that were ripped out of the ground from what was potentially a tornado. Very severe weather here. This trailer itself had to be hoisted up by the fire department because it was basically on its side or down enough that they needed to do the rescue there. Thomas is going to give you a better look right there. We know from the fire department, it's actually the Clay Lick Fire Department that is out here this morning. They tell us that there was a woman, her daughter, and her sister that were inside of this trailer when this came through.
We also have crews all over the area for you here this morning. Our Tosin Fakile has been reporting for several hours as well, bringing you coverage through these storms. Tosin, you're in Kingston Springs. What do you have there?
We are right off of Highway 70, and what I'm standing in front of is someone's house. This is a piece of their home all over the ground. So this is going to be a lot I'm going to show you, Lauren. So we're going to start this way. Underneath this tree, buried under this right here, is a brand new car the owner just got. And this is what happened. That car cannot be gotten out of there. The car is stuck where it is. And this is just a huge tree in front of their house. I will show you something else. All over the yard around here, you're seeing parts of vehicles, and that's blown away towards this way from the junkyard that's next to their home.
If you go straight up 65 from Nashville, that's where you're going to end up. And our Lindsay Nance has gone there this morning. Lindsay, I imagine, first of all, it probably took you a long time to get there because of a lot of damage. Show us what you're seeing and tell us what you're hearing from people as well.
Lauren, the only way that I can describe this is absolutely devastating and heartbreaking. Right now we're on Russellville Road, where a majority of the damage took place, and the National Weather Service out of Louisville has just confirmed that possibly an EF2 tornado is what caused this damage, with winds up to 120 miles per hour. And if you look around this neighborhood, you can just see that completely played out. I mean, it is just absolutely devastating. Now, I talked to about 3 families so far in the area who told me the storm was so loud they actually thought that it was gunfire.
Dixon County specifically, a man there rescued one of his neighbors right after the storm went through. He did this even though as he was surveying damage at his own home. Listen to him describe the moment he realized his neighbor was in trouble right next door.
I started walking around, looking around, the window upstairs got blown out, and then I come outside looking around, saw trees laying down. And then I decided I finally looked down and I saw her house. I went down there to check on her, and I seen half her house gone. And I got up and went and screamed in the house. I was like, "Are you okay?" And she answered, which was a great relief, and went in and got her out, and we brought her to our house and waiting until we can get out and she can get to her family.
I want to get you to some video I just found from a weather chasing account of Mayfield. It's some aerial drone video, and it is absolutely I mean, it's stunning. And can you guys take this full here so that we can sort of get the full effect? So the way that it starts on the side of this building and reveals what Mayfield, Kentucky looks like, I mean, it just truly takes your breath away. And this is going to give you some context here for what the governor is about to tell us. And, you know, I really think we should be bracing ourselves for some very devastating updates out of Kentucky this morning.
It has been a very busy night, a very busy day. Deadly storms rolling through our region in the overnight hours. Several deaths reported across 4 states here. Homes destroyed. Thousands left without power tonight. But no place may have been hit harder than Mayfield, Kentucky. It's about 2.5 hours from here. Structures reduced to rubble there, and a collapse at that candle factory reported to have mass casualties. News 4's Carice Jackman was in Mayfield earlier today and continues our coverage.
It's terrible. I just ain't never seen nothing like it.
Overcome with tears, the last few hours for Shirley Gillespie have felt like an eternity. She drove up from Tennessee after she heard a tornado rip through Mayfield, walking nearly 2 miles to her brother's house. The sounds coming from the neighborhood will stay with her forever.
I heard people hollering, let me out, get me out. They were trapped under the debris.
The upstairs is gone, her family's cars mangled, but miraculously,
even though with all the damage, it was 9 people in this house, not a scratch on not one of them. God still put his arms around them. That's enough for us.
While Shirley's family is safe, Darryl Johnson fears for his sister, who was working at the candle factory when the tornado struck.
He said that she called him at around 9-something, maybe 9:30, and said, "Honey, it's storming here bad and everything." And I think the response was like the roof had come off.
Since then, nothing.
It's been several hours. You know, I can't tell you how long, but it's tragic.
He's called every hospital and is losing hope.
She's all I got left. I lost my brother 4 years ago in a unfortunate matter, and now, you know, it's what I got, man.
The tornado ripped through parts of Mayfield, damaging homes and industries. Downtown Mayfield completely destroyed. Every business, bank, church we see impacted by this tornado, including the courthouse behind us.
There's so many churches that are destroyed. All of our historical buildings are destroyed.
Born and raised in Mayfield, Hargrove says downtown is unrecognizable.
It's just one of these things you look at in disbelief, that it's just hard to believe that Mother Nature can do something like this, be this powerful.
And the impact of this powerful storm brought on by Mother Nature will be felt here in the town of Mayfield for quite some time.
In Bowling Green, Kentucky tonight, another hard-hit area. Damage and loss of life is extensive there. 11 people are dead after a tornado ripped through that city, flattening homes, destroying businesses and uprooting trees. Officials say they were monitoring the storms all night and knew the moment they had to act.
It didn't take very long. We started learning about exactly where all the worst damage was.
Now, Amber Tucker and her family lost their home overnight. They say they're still in shock.
It's just unreal. Like, it's unreal just looking at all the wood on the ground and the nails, and it's stuff you see on TV and, you know, the news channel. Like, it doesn't happen in your town until it happens in your town.
We turn now to here in Tennessee. A lot of damage here just west of Nashville. A woman, look at this. She was rescued from a mobile home. This is in Kingston Springs. The sheriff's office says she was trying to leave when her mobile home was picked up and then thrown on top of her. You're watching her there being rescued. She was pinned from the waist down. It took crews 20 minutes to rescue her. She was rushed to Vanderbilt. She is there now in critical condition. Some of the worst damage was on Merle Road. News 4's Carly Gordon spent the day there talking to families about the trauma they endured over the past 24 hours.
A Christmas gift now sits on what used to be the kitchen counter inside the remnants of a home where Brooke Prim and her family planned to celebrate.
All the kids on Christmas morning, we always come here. This is our gathering place. So we're not going to have that, and that's kind of sad.
Prim's kids were supposed to be sleeping in this bedroom. At the last minute, their trip got canceled, and the grandparents who lived here left town instead. So when Prim first thought about what could have happened and to whom,
we spent an hour and a half just in silence, you know, just staring at our kids. I mean, it's sickening. I mean, you know, your stomach just drops.
Next door, the situation is even worse. A husband and wife hid in the shower as their home lifted off its hinges. Miraculously, she walked out of the hospital.
Yes, no waiting, okay.
With just a concussion. As for Karen Boswell,
the walls were shaking, the house was shaking.
She hunkered down in a closet with her teenage son.
And it was over in about 5 minutes.
They came out silenced by the damage that surrounded them.
Haven't slept. I think I'm still in a little bit of shock because nothing prepares you to walk out and see this in the daylight.
With this breaking news alert.
Absolutely bone-chilling video into our newsroom tonight of the devastating quad-state tornado that left a path of destruction over 200 miles long. This video was taken overnight between Bremen and Sacramento, Kentucky. This is courtesy of Eddie Knight. Look at this. The sheer size of this tornado is terrifying, and once daylight arrived, we're seeing the cataclysmic aftermath of that storm system. Unbelievable.
I mean, it's just the worst thing anybody can go through.
Experiencing an EF3 tornado tearing through parts of Bowling Green, Kentucky will forever be etched in Jenny Lindsay's mind.
But I mean, you just heard it sound like a freight train going. Our curtain went up. All you seen was a little funnel going like that.
She's one of the several people who's receiving items and shelter inside of South Warren Middle School, where the American Red Cross has been set up all day. And just a few miles down the road,
grabbing the diapers with everything in order.
There's more volunteers inside of another Warren County school providing water, diapers, food, and other items to help this community get back on their feet. School buses made their rounds, picking up families stranded in one of the hardest hit areas near Creekwood Avenue, taking them to the nearby middle school.
If families are walking here because they don't have transportation, we're assessing what's going on with them and we're taking care of their immediate needs.
Forceful tornado winds taking off roofs of several homes. One lady took cover inside of her second-floor apartment closet.
I turned around to sit down in the closet, and the window blew out, and the whole wall just blew in toward me. My bed flew up in the air, so if I'd have been in that bed, you know, it would have been really hurt. So, yeah, just really scary.
People here say even though this is a tragedy, they're glad to know they have a helping hand.
We're South Warren Middle School and their staff and the staff of Salvation Army and the American Red Cross. This is what family should be about, and being with God's family at this time.
Now, Tracy, as we know, natural disasters just like this one can rip families apart and it can displace people, and the American Red Cross reconnect those families. And you can head over to their website if you're looking for a loved one who may be missing at redcross.org/safe and well.